Boom! How's it going? It is I, your boy, TJ, Taurai Jack, and welcome to M5 Property Addicts. This is where we talk anything and everything around property, and we do this in the four cities that we are in South Africa. And if you've never been here before, why do we talk about property? Because we love passive income, and passive income gives, we get passive income from our properties that we buy. So we are predominantly in the rental space where you buy properties and you rent them out. When you rent those properties out, guess what happens? The tenant pays off for the debt and you get surplus, and that surplus is called passive income, cash flow. I've always heard people that say cash is king. I differ there. I think cash flow is king. Cash flow is king. Boom, boom. Welcome. Yeah. It is a Thursday. Welcome to Thursday Legacy. And I apologize for yesterday. We couldn't come out, and it was that uncle of ours called Eshcom. But I've got some plans worked around for me to work around Uncle Eshcom when it does happen. But yeah, it looks like Uncle Eshcom was here. But nonetheless, we are here today, and today we're talking about Thursday Legacy. If you have never been here before, it's your first time, welcome aboard. My name is TJ, Taurai Jack, and I run M5 Property Addicts. No title, like title don't mean nothing to me. We're in it to be making money, and yeah, them titles don't give us money. It is the work that gives us the money, right? So we're in it to buy. I've got 5 partners of mine, and out of those 5 partners of mine, we literally work for assets, and these assets gives us money. And we invest with other people, and these people come through, they invest, they become passive income investors, and we make money. We make money, they make money, we all make money. At the end of the video, I'm going to tell you how you can do that. If you like to do that, you can become a premier investor with us. Basically what it is, it's about investing your money, making sure that your money has got more value. You're gaining value. Right now, most people, they are sitting with their monies at the bank. If they're getting to run about 78%, whoo, they are so lucky. And I can double up that. So I can give you around about 14% today. You can sign up contracts with me. Right. Okay, good. I want to talk about student accommodation. Student accommodation. It is a topical topic. Is that right? It is right. It is a topical topic. So we're going to talk about student accommodation. And yeah, I am going to give you guys what I call 5 myths. 5 myths about student accommodation. What people think is student accommodation, and it is not, right? And it is not. What they think, and they've never validated it, it is not. What gives me the right to do that? In our business, M5 Property Addicts, we've got a subsidiary that is called M5. It's not called M5. I want everything to be called the M5, but no, it's not. So in our group, M5 Property Addicts, so M5 Property Addicts is a group of companies actually. And in there, we've got a company called My Student House, MSH, right? And My Student House, we predominantly do student accommodation. Rita is the founder of that business. She is, you all know Rita, my business partner. If you don't know, I've got a partner called Rita. She is one of the other 5 that I did mention earlier on. And out of that, she is out in the Cape, if some of you do know. And we started off there with student accommodation, and our first house, I think we had about 2025 or somewhere there. And right now we are managing around about 350 in the different properties that we've got in that company called My Student House. Now, she has put in a course together, and within that course, you can literally learn how to do student accommodation. I remember when we started, we were struggling with a couple of things, but we documented everything that we were doing. And out of that, obviously, we came up with a manual. We came up with tips and tricks for you to get knowledgeable. So don't jump into student accommodation if you have never attended that course before, or any other course actually for student accommodation, because I guarantee you are going to lose some money. And you are going to be saying, Uncle TJ, I should have listened to you. Well, I don't want you to be that person. I want you to be the person that is going to be making money in student accommodation. And who knows? I can invite you to M5 Successful Friends and we can talk about your journey. I like that. Right. So let's talk about the 5 myths. 5 myths of student accommodation. Right. The first myth is that students don't pay. Where do they get the money from? So students don't pay. It's the first myth that people think about. And it is a myth because we are running a business in my student house. And within my student house, we are running a successful business because students are paying, right? So how do students pay you? 2 ways in which the students can pay you. Number one, obviously, if a student is going through to a university, a technical, or whatever it is, either they have some form of a bursary, and that bursary will pay for their accommodation, right? Or they do have parents or guardians, and the parents or the guardians will pay you, right? So that's how the students can afford to pay you. It is not the actual students that is paying you, it is the people behind the students. So students do pay, right? So what does it mean? Do you then actually contract the student, or you contract the people backing up the students? A lot of people make the mistake actually and contract with the student. Student is not employed. Yeah, the student is not employed, so how are they going to pay? They're not able to pay. Once I'm going through with these myths, if you have heard any other myths, drop them in the comments, right? Wherever you are, drop them in the comments. That was myth number 1. Students don't pay. I've clarified that students do pay. It is who is behind the student who is going to pay. The student themselves unemployed. They're students, so obviously they can't pay you. So it is a myth. Let's get it out of the way. So they can pay. The second one is that the second myth that I'd like to jump in is you only get income. Right. So the second one, you can see that I was reading somewhere. I had to prepare for this one. The second one is that you only get income 10 months a year. Boom. 10 months a year. That's what the second myth is. The second myth out of the 5 myths is that you only get paid, or you only get income 10 months in a year. Yeah. Yeah, you can hear with my groans, né? It's painful. Yeah, it's painful. Right. This is a reality for most people. Why? Because what they have done is they have taken in the calendar of the students and they've altered their contracts so that it marries that. However, I've also been to other cities. This is the good thing about traveling. You get exposed to many things. I've been to other towns where when the landlords actually, when they are contracting, they will contract for the whole year, 12 months. Whether you are here or you are not, it's irrelevant. So let me give you an example, right? If you've got a truck driver at your house or an air hostess at your house, air hostess is a better example now because South African Airways is kind of like retrenched, kind of like everyone. Let's not digress, right? Let's just talk about the air hostess and the truck driver name, right? If you rent out a place to a truck driver, would you only say to them, I am going to give you, they come in and then they say to you, yeah, we want accommodation. And you say, well, yes, I'm going to give you accommodation, but I'm going to pay, you can only pay for the time that you are here. Do you do that? No, you don't. You say, yes, accommodation is available, isn't it? I've got a 6 months contract, I've got a 1 year contract, or I do month to month, isn't it? Right? So with that, we all know truck drivers, they can be gone for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month gone, and they're not even back, right? But you still have them on their place. So if they're not there, well, look, I used to travel down in Africa a lot. a lot. Like 3 weeks, I'll be gone and out. But my bank never said, well, you know, Mr. Jack, because you were out, we're going to give you a rebate. No. So I don't understand why some landlords actually have 10 months income from the students. I don't understand it. The moment I started understanding the fact that you can actually make it 12 months. It's a contract. It's your contract. You are the landlord. You are the service provider. Right? Why do we all run to Telkom and Vodacom and MTN and we write in the contracts there? Who dictates the contract? The service provider or the client? It is the service provider, isn't it? So for the reason that you might be earning income for 10 months, it is your fault. I'm going to say that out. It is your fault. Your contract, you're the service provider. So what does your service provider dictate? So what have I seen? I have also seen people that have 10 months. Yes. I have also seen people that have 12 months. Yes. I have seen people that have a month's notice. Yes. I have also seen other people that have a semester notice. Yes. You do the maths in terms of what makes sense for your business, for student accommodation. It's about you. It's your place. You do what you want. Right. The other myth number 3. Myth number 3 about student accommodation, it is students can trash your house, right? Students, they are very bad. They will trash your house and this is not good and ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Right. I want to ask you the question. If you've been in property for long, you would know that some people, whether they are students or whether they are not, they just come. They just come. Trashy. Some people are just trashy, you know. But when they come out of the house, they look, yeah. But you go into their house, you think, how many pigs are staying in here? But that's the reality. I see this every day, guys. I've got over 200 tenants. You know, we do inspections from time to time, and we see it. You see a beautiful lady coming out nicely. She is zhazha and all of those things. And behind the doors, you want to go. If it's not for COVID, you want to go in with a mask. I'm telling you. Okay. It's not about ladies alone, because I can see it. Like some of you want to slay me. Hey, TJ, I'm just giving an example. Chillax. It can be a guy even, isn't? Yeah. For some reason, guys are omitted from, being domesticated. I'm like, nah, that's not cool. All of us, we need to be domesticated. Coming back to the myths. So the myth number 3, which is students trash your house. It is true. It is true. However, it is a myth because it's your fault if those things are happening. Where are you when those things are happening? Right? Where are you, Mr. Landlord, when those things are happening? Every house that we have or building that we have, it's got rules and regulations. It's just like at your house, right? If you don't have rules and regulations, what happens? Everyone's going to do whatever they want, isn't it? Right. So you gotta make sure that your place has, you move on militant precision. What did I say? Militant precision. I've never been in military before, but I envy some of my boys who've been in military because they're just sharp in terms of precisions, right? Now, what do I mean by that? You gotta have policies, rules and regulations, right? You need to be checking in your property all the time, right? You got little rascals in your house who don't know how much a microwave is. They don't even know how much a cup is. Then you just let them be like that. That's why we've got house mothers. We've got house mothers in there. They stay there. They understand the kids themselves. And over and above that, we are also particularly picky about the students that are going to come in and stay with us. So which students will come in and stay within your place? First years, okay? Third years, who's a little bit matured between your first year and the third year, right? Think about it. So you need to be intentional around these things, right? So if you got that auntie you know that auntie, right? You know that auntie, the strict auntie, and she's your mother house. Where are you going to put that auntie? In your first years or in your third years? Gotta think out of the box. This is real life, right? This is real people that you got. Again, put your comments in the comments there. Tell me some of the myths that you have heard. We are on myth number 3. We are on myth number 3. Let me jump on to myth number 4. Right. Myth number 4 is that it is difficult to manage students' accommodation. Myth number 4, it is difficult to manage students' accommodation. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. If you don't know what you're doing, yes, it is true, right? If you don't know what you're doing, yes, it is true, right? Okay, let me give you an example here. If you don't know what you don't know, how can you manage it? It's a question. If you don't know what you don't know, how can you manage it? You can't, because you don't know, right? Now, which is why it is important that you need to be educated before you jump on into some of these things. Or if you're just thinking about it, right? Like, I want to have student accommodation. Oh, okay, fine. So go and learn. Expose yourself to the education that is there around there. Whether, educate yourself. It's important to get educated, guys. I don't know how to stress this out. It's very important. I'm going to say that the other thing that I want to then mention is that once we are talking about it is difficult to manage students' accommodation, it's a reality if you don't know what you're doing, but it is a myth if you know what you're doing. How do you get to know what you're going to be doing? By getting educated, by hanging out with other student accommodation. So Rita, she's got a group called, it's on Facebook, Student Accommodation Landlords. Student accommodation landlords, right? So it's a group of student accommodation landlords who manage students' accommodation. And in there, they talk about all these things that are happening in their houses. They give each other advices and things like that. So why wouldn't you be in that group? Why wouldn't you be in that group? If you are an aspiring one, get in there and learn. Maybe contribute as well. Ask questions, right? So it's not difficult. It's difficult because you don't know. The fifth one, number 5. Number 5. Myth number 5. You have to be registered with NASFAS to make money. You have to be registered with NASFAS to make money. Yeah, a lot of us, we going into student accommodation because of the because of the moolah. Should it be about the moolah? By the way, we said today it is what? Thursday legacy. What happens on Thursday legacy? We talk everything around the legacy. So if it is not about money, then what is it about, TJ? Right. Number 1, you're providing accommodation to kids that might not have been able to have accommodation. Number 2, you're providing a home to kids that might not been able to have a conducive environment for them to learn, right? Number 3, you are making a business and providing employment to other people. Number 4, I can go on. Number 5, I can go on. You get the drift. If you really zoom into it a little bit, and you're like, why am I doing this? What is the reason behind it? What is the impact around it? The social impact, the economic impact. You start seeing that what you're doing is actually, it has a ripple effect. So it is a myth. I want to stress out that if you're not registered with NASFAS, that's the only way you make money. No, it's not true. It is not true, right? So yes, you can be registered with NASFAS. That's the first one. The second one, yes, you can do what is called private accommodation. Private accommodation. So you are one-on-one with the students and the parents of the students. Okay, that's what it's all about. But I want to park here for now, and I want to stress out the fact that you need to be out learning about student accommodation if you're serious about it and it's something that you're wanting to do. So towards the end of the month, Rita is going to have a class. It's a live class. So what she's going to do, we have a pre-recorded pre-recorded, what do you call that again? It is called lessons. Yeah, course, pre-recorded course. The name had escaped my mind. So we've got a pre-recorded course, right? And in there, you can literally go in there and you can consume. Then on top of that, you're going to have 3 touch points in the class. Rita will be steering that up. She's the best person to be running this. And irrespective of where you are, you could be in Bloemfontein, Joburg, Pretoria, Cape Town, Rustenburg. For as long as you're doing student accommodation, you need to attend this. This course, actually, normally, other people have paid more than 6,000 for it, but you will be paying for this month only. You will pay just below 2,000 Rand, okay? You pay 2,000 Rand. And again, you will get the course, yes, and you get to be in the support, into the support group with the Reta. And over and above that, you're going to be in a live session with Reta for the next 3 days on that course. Where can you get access of that course? Where can you get access to that course? In the link, once this video is done, in the link, you are able to access that course. Hit on it. It will take you to another web page where you can actually see everything else that's being offered on the course. Register from there, check out the dates, reserve your seat for yourself, and make sure that you're obviously around. Is it going to be live in person? Yeah, it's going to be live online, right? Live online. And all of us, we can learn from there. Obviously, we're trying to run away from COVID, so we're not bringing people yet in rooms. That's what we are trying to do. Now, if you are not saying, well, TJ, yes, I want to learn, I'll come through. But then I've got some money and I just want to invest. And I think my money is dying at the bank. It's getting 6-7%. Where can I put my money to work? Bring it to me and I'll make sure that I give you 14%. Nothing less of 14%. I'll give you 14% on your money per year, which means that for every 100,000 that you're going to invest with me for the next 12 months, it is going to give you 14,000 Rand. I can distribute that 14,000 Rand on a monthly basis, so which means 14,000 Rand divided by 12 in your bank account every month. Ding, 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 all the way to 12 months. And that's how we do it. We call you a premier investor. And we take that money, we do renovations, and we turn these properties. And that's how we make money. We make money, you make money. You become the premier investor to us. Okay, awesome stuff. Again, how do you become a premier investor? In the link below. So there's 2 links. One for you, obviously, to learn how to do this for the student accommodation. The second one is how to become a premier investor. And you can literally click on there and tell us who you are, how much you want to invest, and we will definitely come back to you. And within the next 24 to 48 hours, you will hear from us and with the contracts that you need to be signing. It is I, TJ, Taurai Jack. It's great to having you around this morning. And again, if there is any other myths that you've heard, yes, tell us. Tell us in the comments. I'd like to hear that from you. But otherwise, for now, it is your boy signing off. TJ, goodbye. God bless. Have a fabulous Thursday. Cheers.